Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University, and I'm reading Champions, issue number 5. Now, first I'm going to give a little warning. If you have any kind of issues with looking towards civil liberties, or if you think that people shouldn't be treated equally just because they're all human, or if you have any kind of problem along those lines, you are not going to like this comic, and I highly recommend that you simply go and look for another video, any other video. YouTube's a very big place because this comic deals with racism. This comic deals with all sorts of bigotry on every single level imaginable. And yeah, honestly, guys, just be warned. Okay, that being said, this is a very, very heavy issue, and Gwenpool is in this issue. And the reason why Gwenpool is in this issue is because we need some kind of comedy relief from the fact that this is a really heavy issue. No joke, guys. We are in Daly County, USA. It doesn't matter where this place is. The fact is, it's someplace in the USA, and it's kind of not in the city, main city area. Let's say someplace out in the Midwest. Hey, I used to live in Ohio for a while, so yeah, it seems about similar. So we've got a mosque bombing. Somebody bombed a mosque. Now that's a bit of a spoiler because, yeah, there's just a fire and Sheriff Studdard is outside. He's nobody special. He's not important. He's not from anywhere else in the comics. And Sheriff Studdard, however, I'm kind of hoping to see him in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. That would be very cool. Anyway, he's basically just some absolute racist sheriff of Daly County. And he's telling the fire department, hold on, don't go in there so quick. There's a lot of smoke. I don't want anybody to get hurt. Well, the deputy is saying, listen, man, everybody knows how you feel about certain people. Yeah, this comic starts it off really quick. He's like, but those are human lives in there. And the champions come running out, and they bring out men and women. Like, yeah, there were actually people inside the mosque when it blew up. And Viv comes out because, you know, they're saying there should be some kind of investigation. And Sheriff Studdard's like, nope, I don't see any reason for it. You know what? Maybe you're a mutie, aren't you? He's looking at young Scott Summers. You mutie, maybe you started it. And Scott is great, man. His wit is on point. He says flat out, buddy, if I did, you know you just pin a medal on me. So Viv comes phasing out, and she shows the remains of a bomb, and she looks up the serial number, and it was confiscated within the year by Sheriff Studdard's Daly County Police. So yeah, what does that say? Basically, everything is set. Now, really quickly, Gwenpool decides to blow up a police car or two in protest of this because she's Gwenpool. Now, what basically happens here is the police turn and they aiming their weapons at the champions. The Hulk gets them out of there really quick, but so now they're kind of in a bit of trouble because she's saying that Gwenpool is saying that she's with them. Gwenpool thinks that these guys are Hydra subversive agents or under the control of Mesmero or Kilgrave or any of these crazy people like Psycho Man. I'm surprised that Mad Bomb comment wasn't mentioned, but the point is that she thinks there's some kind of super villain thing here, and Miss Marvel has to keep on checking her and saying, listen, the fact of the matter is you don't need super villains to have people have racism. And racism is exactly the whole point of this entire comic. The sheriff is an extreme racist. The words are actually have to be blotted out in certain parts. Examples will not be given. Rather, go and pick up the comic because this is a deep, deep comic. Guys, this literally has nothing to do with politics. This is all about racism. That's what this is. Basically, the deputy is trying to make a difference, but he doesn't know how to, and he's really scared, and he's like, oh, it's a powder keg, and it'll split this entire county in half, and oh, it's just so bad, and we're getting such a bad rep from the press and the media, and social media is being blamed by Sheriff Studdard, and blah, blah, blah. Look, the guy means well, but he's kind of a coward. And finally, in the end, we see that all the proofs show that Sheriff Studdard himself actually paid young kids or whatever to do this bomb attack. And I mean, like, even North Star comes up in this. He's got an LGBTQ community set up, and there's a note on there where he says, listen, man, like, the sheriff is a racist. Just, I don't know what to tell you, but all this stuff is going to come to head pretty soon. Guys, this is just Mark Waid at his best. I love this comic. Bringing the social commentary into this comic the way that it does, and again, having Gwenpool throughout. I hope that she's gone now because Miles Morales wasn't in here, and the funny little posting her face and her body over top of Miles all the time was actually pretty cool. But I'm sure that he'll be back. I'm sure that she'll be gone. It was funny while it lasted, but in the meantime, guys, this is a really deep comic. This is wild. This is amazing that this could actually be written in, and it's going to be continued later on because finally, at the end, the deputy realizes that the sheriff isn't going to change and he's only getting worse, and apparently he's hurt people before, like directly. And it's good because the champions are saying how many more people have to get hurt while the deputy waits to see, you know, what's the right time to do something. The time is now. The time is always now. Guys, I'm going to give this comic an A+, simply because it speaks to my heart, and I'm simply going to leave everybody with this. If you ever feel, in any way, shape, or form, that someone who is beneath you in the social economic ladder is somehow taking things from you, or you feel the need to be angry at someone who is of a lower social economic class than you, I can absolutely assure you it is because someone of a social economic class above you is manipulating you into thinking those things. So don't be manipulated. Don't be a tool. Guys, try not to hate. Anyway, Professor Bell, Comic Book University, class dismissed.